Veliki pozdrav gledalcima moje arene, dobrodošli u novu epizodu koja je za nas posebna, jer smo imali čast da ugostimo jedne od najboljih hollywoodskih glumaca. Svima je dobro poznata Olga Kurylenko, Bondova devojka, a sa nama i Oliver Trevena, koji je glumac, veliki sportski fanatik i čak drži i jedan klub u svojoj rodnoj Engleskoj. Hajde da čujemo njihovu priču. First of all, it's our great pleasure that you're today part of TV show My Arena, and I'm so excited. I have a lot of questions to ask you about sport, your career, achievement. I hope you're in a good mood.
Yes, go for it.
Today we are in Metropole, but you're in Belgrade for some time. You're filming Misdirection, and if I'm right, it's gonna be by the end of the year, right?
Yes, we'll be finished by Christmas.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, we'll be here for Christmas. No.
Okay, it's an excellent thriller, an extraordinary team that you're working with. But if I'm wrong, you two are not collaborating for the first time.
Nope.
No?
No, we filmed a movie earlier this year called Paradox Effect.
Can you describe the experience of working with the most beautiful and talented woman in the world?
Yes, very easily. It's an absolute pleasure. I mean, for me, it was the last project in Italy was a very fast-paced project. It was about, I would say we were in probably 95% of the movie together. So it was a lot of work and we just clicked. It made life very easy. She's a pleasure to work with. There's no ego. She's fun. She goes into every day with just a smile and a pure intention to do the best project, but also treat people very well, which in any industry is extremely important. So I'm very lucky to be, making a second project with her.
I can guess that you have only good words for Oliver.
Only good words as well. Yeah, that's why I'm here, by the way. So Oliver, we worked on this movie Paradox Effect, and after that he reached out. He said, "Look, I'm producing a film and starring in it as well." And he said, "Would you be my partner? The lead female on the film I'm producing." And I said yes immediately because of the person that Oliver is. It's purely that, I don't just say yes to, left and right, and there's a lot of things coming in, and I cannot do everything. And Oliver is also such a good person and so friendly to everyone and so respectful, which is very important in our profession. He also treats people, I'm repeating, but he treats people amazingly well on set. He's smart, he's funny, he's easygoing. What else do you need? So I thought, look, it's only going to be, pleasure to work with him. So I said yes immediately. That's how you get things done, right? It's you meet good people and then it happens.
I can agree more.
We should stop the interview now. It's perfect.
This is enough.
That's all we need.
This is it.
This is not your first time in Belgrade. You were here while filming November Man with
That's right.
Brosnan. How do you feel Belgrade?
Yes, it's great. It's a very different season because when we filmed the November Man, it was summer. It was like July, I think. It was so hot. It was like beyond 42 degrees, I think. I didn't even know that Belgrade could be so hot. And now it's -2, so perfect.
cold.
I've experienced, it was a long time, so I haven't, that was like, 10 years ago, that movie. And I'm glad to be back. I love the people. I love the crew. The crew is great. They're so nice to work with and kind and helpful and professional. So it's so important to work in a good environment. Nobody wants to struggle or work with people that don't want to be there. And on our set, everybody wants to be there. Everybody's happy.
So I can feel that energy.
Yeah, that's how you make better products because. Right, you can only if you're happy, you make a bit better result.
Yeah, I mean, sports. You talk about teams. It's the same thing on a set. If you've got you could have the most amazing team, but 2 bad players, and the team falls apart. And I think for us on a project like this, it's a quick shoot. We're getting a lot in one go. We're on night shoots. We film the entire movie at night, so we work night after night. And nighttime when you look outside and it's dark. Everyone wants to be in their bed. So people have to be positive. They have to, energy. It's everything. So I think for us in Serbia, I mean, Olga just sent me a message yesterday, like literally said we should film every movie here. I mean, the people are so nice, the people work so hard, and they're so good at what they do, you know. And it's I think communication. The crazy thing is, on this set, the communication across the board on the set, it's been so good. In a place that isn't, you know, you speak Serbian, we speak English, but the communication is the best.
Yeah.
So it says a lot about the people here, you know.
But I have to ask you about nightlife because you were spotted in Lafayette. How was it?
Yeah. More fun for her.
Were we spotted?
Lafayette. Is that true?
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
who looked
yeah,
like me who went on stage.
It was an Olga Kurylenko lookalike.
Crazy
They put her up on
lady.
stage,
Okay,
yeah.
are you more for a nightlife or maybe some daily routine in good environment and good crew?
Oh my God, I'm so not alive. By the way,
Yeah.
Oliver is like, Olga, I'm so sorry, but this movie, we're gonna shoot nights. He knew I hate night. I hate nights because
Yeah.
at
Really?
night I want to sleep. Yes.
Yeah.
Belgrade is for nightlife.
I know,
I
but
know, and
look,
the sad thing is we haven't got, so we
don't have
worked
time,
every
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Last night I actually wasn't working. They were working and I went to explore the ruins and I walked around the city and I was, because my parents were here a week ago. We saw nothing. I was just walking around this area and I went out and I'm like, it's so beautiful. And I realized that it really is a city about nightlife. The bars were popping, the place was crazy. And yes, Lafayette, it was, I mean, we were saying we got to recreate this somewhere else. That it was so
We were
fun.
blown away.
The performance and the choreography and the diversity of like suddenly an opera singer to then the Joker on a motorbike to then a lady with a snake around her neck. Like it's
gymnasts.
Yeah,
and
it's
the-
so creative. And then there's a bathtub on the set.
Yeah,
You know, it's so creative. It's very, very impressive.
I also need to ask you about our cuisine because we are all known as meat lovers. So what do you most like when it comes to food? Here.
It's true that I ate lots of meat here, you know, which I don't eat that much meat usually, but it's the cuisine is very good. The only problem is that we don't have time to really discover all the restaurants because most of the time we eat on set and it's very quick. But even that, like the
food's been
catering,
good.
the
Food's been
catering
really
is clearly local and it's pretty good. But we cannot tell you about like this and that restaurant. Like we've discovered just Lafayette, and I had lunch at Madeira, which was exquisite as well.
Yeah.
So these are the two places I can speak about, and they were
And by the
both
way,
nice.
same for me. I went to Lafayette, and the last night I had dinner at Madeira.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
really?
But it's the food has been good. Yeah, it's been a really like pleasant experience across the board. You know.
As I said, we are well known as meat lovers, but we are well known as a sport nation. So I need to talk with you a bit about sport. And no, I'll start with a lady this time because you're considered as one of the most beautiful women in the world, and you have a great shape. And I doubt it's only genetics. Are you working or not?
Oh my God,
I mean, you'd be
Oliver, now she
surprised.
knows me.
Okay, you're not practicing.
It is just genetics.
It is genetics. Well,
I'm sorry.
By the way, I can vouch for that because I don't
he
do
can
it either.
confirm.
I'm always like, you want to go to the gym?
I'm like, no.
you're like me. I don't like that either.
I am sorry, but it's just
But I think
genetics.
the thing is, truthfully, we you know, when we're on set together and we're in a location, the amount of walking, action, things
sure.
on set, that's your workout.
I mean,
you know?
I move,
wait a minute.
yeah,
She moves
but
all
I
the
move
time.
during my life, and I'm quite you know.
But wait a minute,
But I
I've
don't.
heard from our dear Dragica from Spa down there that
Yeah.
you come to a swimming pool.
Oh, I came once.
Once? Okay. That means that even swimming is not your...
I did come twice for a massage, and that's it. But yes, I mean, I like pool, but you know, I don't swim a professional style. I just kind of like, it's for relaxing. But look, with that said, sport is important, and I think now I hit that age where I realize, wait a second, I should do it not for the shape, but for my health. This is where I realized, because I lived my whole life without sport, and don't get me wrong, of course I've done so much action films that I had to train. It's true, I'm not going to say I've never trained, but I've trained sporadically for a precise project. So I'll train while I shoot, and then the project is over, and I do nothing. So I do it in chunks, but not on a regular basis. However, now I'm thinking, movies apart, I'm going to have to do it on a regular basis, just for me to keep, to keep young. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
And it only hit me with age. I didn't know about that before, because before, when you're young, you think, I'm fine, I don't need to do anything. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So times
Is
are
it possible
changing.
that you cannot influence on Olga?
I've tried. I've tried. We do go. Well, I mean, look.
You got me to gym once.
I've got to the gym. I think the biggest thing for me is I work out more for. I mean, I love fitness, but the gym part is purely for my mind. Like if I get up in the morning, especially when we're on a night shoot, it's so easy to go home at 4 a.m., sleep, have a coffee in the room, stay in the room, and go back to work. So for me, the gym or going for a walk outside is more for the mental side. And then sports for me, I was just saying it earlier to someone. For me, in a life where we're so consumed by our cell phones and content, and sports for me bring me back to the present moment. They bring me back to, if I'm on a football field, I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just thinking about football. I'm just playing football,
I'm 100% sure that you're the type of the man who won't skip practicing, even though you'll practice in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm pretty much. Although I will say, I've realized on this shoot in particular that sleep is extremely important as well. Like in the past, I'd maybe sacrifice a good night's sleep to go to the gym, and that's never worked well. On this shoot, I've really found a nice balance of making sure I get sleep, doing enough exercise to, maintain a good mindset and life, and then, the rest is easy.
Somewhere I read that you were saying that you need your mind and body strong and healthy, but is there any time that you're tired and you want to skip everything? How do you find motivation?
To be honest, I think I have one of those minds. My mind every time wants to skip it. It's not, it's consistent. I don't wake up and I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I don't wake up and think, oh my God, let's go to the gym. My first instinct is stay in bed.
Don't wake up.
But it's just, for me, it's always about like that moment with anything in life. When your mind says don't do it, you push against, you take action, and then the rest plays out.
That's what I need to learn. Because
Yeah.
my mind says the same, and I follow my mind.
Also,
Stay in bed. Okay.
Stay in bed. Stay in bed.
And then our
I
message will
don't
be
stay
like,
in
get
bed.
out of bed,
Like,
get
do
out of bed.
something else, coffee.
Yeah.
But is it true that you love boxing?
No, I love martial arts.
Okay, yeah.
This is, by the way, if I had to work out, this is what I would do. I cannot do machines and stuff. I need to be with other people, by the way. And martial arts is always against someone else. You cannot do it by yourself. And I love communication and connection. So yeah, that I can. Anytime you tell me let's go sparring, and I'm going.
She's very competitive. Even on a set, when you're like, hey, we have the stunt person, she's like, no, I can do this. Like,
Olga, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. The trick is, I should say, don't go to the gym, and then she go to the gym.
Yesterday I was doing a stunt. Well, actually I wasn't doing the stunt, but I started falling off the stairs. But I was acting. And they came to me. They said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Guys, I was acting." They said, "Oh, this was so natural. We thought you just you just went down the stairs."
Yeah.
And I went without protection and everything. They said, "You're crazy," but I just love doing it. So I kind of love it, but I like it when there's a sense and there's a.
When there's a challenge.
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, just gym. There's not enough challenge for me.
Yeah.
And maybe not enough fun.
Exactly. So, but yeah, martial arts anytime.
And that's when we came to the point of your role within James Bond movie. What kind of preparation you took? What is necessary to be a Bond girl?
Yeah, that was very heavy into sports. We were in the gym all the time with all the stunt guys. It was Daniel and me. They were training us, and they trained us like every single day. That was like such a shock to my body, when the body is not used to working out. I remember the first 2 weeks I was just like falling off my feet because the body has to process fatigue, and then I just became stronger. And I was during those times I was very resilient and very strong. I even remember those muscles. I had muscles, everything.
I
lost
boxing,
it all.
kicking, judo,
We did everything.
required.
We did everything. Yeah. Everything.
How did you do that?
with the crew, with the stunt crew, there were a lot of those guys that were just training us that work for Bond all the time, by the way, because they always use the same team, and they know what they're doing. They're all into sports and
And
stunts.
there was Daniel Craig.
Yes, but he was doing his thing and I was doing my thing. But yeah, it was quite intense what they had me do. Like really.
Oliver, let's be honest. I'm not sure you would be able to fight with Olga during that period.
No, I don't fight with her now, really. Most stuff we've had to do is we're not fighting each other yet. So,
Yeah, not yet.
Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
Next movie.
Yeah.
Preparing for a movie can be very demanding. Can you share with us one of your toughest roles?
Yeah, I did a movie in Ukraine actually, which was like a medieval project based off a book, and I had to be on a horse and with a sword. And I might have gone into the audition telling them that I've used a sword and been on a horse before, which is something that actors tend to do. So the training for that was very hard. I remember like literally the stunt team sent me home with a wooden stick that I stood in front of the mirror and I had to just practice my movements, and it was hours and hours, and it was, it's a lot of, when you're on set, you have to be so comfortable, because when they say action, you can't, if you're thinking, you're not in it, as soon as the mind kicks in and you're thinking about what you're doing, you're no longer real in the moment. So I think the toughest challenge is when you're learning a new craft for a role, is getting so comfortable with it that you're not thinking anymore. And that's tough because it's something new that you're just learning,
Especially the horse. How about the horse?
I got thrown off a couple of times. True story. Yeah,
That's tough.
Yeah.
If you're not a horse rider, it's pretty tough.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought
I've done that too, and it was terrifying.
I know, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
We mentioned martial arts and boxing. You're also good at boxing, right?
I love boxing. Yeah.
Is it because of filming, or you just wanted to
No,
try?
I've loved boxing since I was a kid. I think for me, it's something. Same with football. For me, it's things in life that take you in. I don't know what term you use in Serbia, but people talk about the flow state, where you're present and you're in your flow. Boxing for me does that. Football for me does that. Tennis for me does that. Anything that anything that keeps me in the present moment, I think is amazing for the body and amazing for the mind. So for me, I love boxing because you can't. If you think about something else, you get punched.
Do you watch box regularly? Do you have some boxer you love, or you're just?
No, I mean I do watch boxing regularly. I mean, I don't know. Boxing's changed a lot. I've started watching a lot of UFC now. I think for me, I think I don't want to offend anyone. I think I used to prefer boxing
Earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Aside of martial arts, one more common thing for both of you is hiking, right?
Yeah, I love walking.
I mean, LA, we call it hiking, but it's more like walking up of halfway, People say they're going for a hike, but you're drinking your coffee and you're walking.
That's one thing. I can walk for miles.
Yeah.
That is the best workout because it's not an effort, it's just pleasant.
Always.
And you look around and it's beautiful.
It's a great meditation.
And you don't realize that you're actually working.
And now we're coming to the probably most popular sport in Europe and here also in Serbia, and that's football.
Yeah.
I don't know how about you. I know that you're in football since you were a kid, and we're going to talk. But are you watching football anytime?
No.
I can leave now.
Okay.
Continue the interview.
Okay. A few days ago.
I'm sorry, guys.
She's going to go
It's
take
okay.
a break.
We're going to talk about
I'll
something
watch
else.
ballet. I'll watch ice skating.
We're
to each
listening.
their own.
You're listening. You want ballet?
Gymnastics. I'll watch martial arts, football.
Okay. I have someone to talk about it.
True.
And 2 days ago there was a
Manchester
match.
City Red Star.
That's
I didn't get to
right.
go. I would have gone to the game if I wasn't working.
heard you
but I
were
was working.
invited.
I was invited. But I couldn't make the game, which was a shame because it was fun. I watched the highlights.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Considering that you're from United Kingdom, I suppose it's not possible that you don't have a favorite club.
No, of course. I mean, if you don't have a favorite club, you don't have many friends. You have to. It's like you pick your club and you get your friends. Liverpool is my club. But also Brighton's my local club. So now Brighton have worked their way up. My parents go to every home game in Brighton. But I grew up, we used to drive, my dad used to drive to Liverpool from our home. It was probably 5-6 hours each way to the games.
Wow.
And I'm for Arsenal,
Okay, I don't mind Arsenal. They're good.
Tell me, you're from East Essex, right?
Yeah.
Is in your region the biggest club Brighton?
Brighton is the biggest club now, yeah. And then our local club is Eastbourne, which is right there, which actually I bought. I'm a co-owner in Eastbourne Football Club.
And how much time you're in it? Can you have it?
Yeah, I go back quite a lot. I go back to the UK a lot, and I went to see the guys probably a month or so ago. I went to a game, and it's for me it was part of my upbringing. So I love football. I love football at all levels. Whether it's a team in the south division to Premier League. I love football because people are so passionate about it, you know.
Yeah, and can you describe us from the first hand, how is the atmosphere? How does it look supporting in England?
What's the atmosphere?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like, it is people's life, you know. It's
Yeah,
what
that's why I'm asking,
it's what
you
you
know.
grow up with. It's, you know, it's people's, football is everything. You work Monday to Friday to save up money to buy a football ticket to watch the game at the weekend, to then drink beer after the game, to then go back to work on Monday, and you repeat. You know, it's football is so important, and I think, you know, there's an element of football that brings people together. You know, there's the sport side, and then there's the community side, and I think that's why it's so big. You know.
Maybe I need to get into football.
Yeah, you should.
You're like
But also,
getting me.
look, the
you're
most
really
amazing thing about football is, you know, I live in LA, you know, and football still brings people together there, you know.
Yeah.
Wherever you are in the world,
Even though the
Football
football
can
in
bring you
America is
together.
not like in Europe.
there's no
but
language
yeah.
needed in football.
Probably.
You know, you can drop me off in Africa, and I can pick up a football, and someone will start playing.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it.
Maybe I can ask you if you meet some football player. Do you know some football player? No? Okay. We're going to stop about
Never met
football.
anybody.
By the way, there's probably a lot of football players that have her on the wall.
Yeah,
You know? They have her
Actually,
poster.
no, actually, I have a story. I actually have met a football player once, a very famous one. And you know what in LA at a party, and I came up to him and said, "So what do you do?"
Oh.
And people said, "Olga,
Can we know the name?
and I'm not gonna tell you who it is because I'm so ashamed.
Okay.
This is how bad I am. I said, "What do you do?" The guy is like the most football player in the world.
Oh, I'm interested now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like nasty
You can ask her
or
after.
something
Yeah,
like
you ask
that.
her after.
We
It was
mentioned
ridiculous.
we mentioned Red Star in Manchester City, but we were talking about football. Now I want to change the topic to basketball because I have a good reason. Actually, we have some gifts prepared for you from our GM of Parina Sport Television, and I can only say it's personalized. To open it, this is for Olga.
Okay.
I
Open
want
it.
to see your reaction. This is for Oliver.
Is this about basketball?
There's a basketball
Okay, I'm
player in
gonna
the
have
back.
to start.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here you are.
Trevena Zvezda.
Yes.
I can. You see, I can
Oh,
read
this is
Cyrillic.
amazing.
It's good. Wow.
And you have your
Oh my
name.
goodness.
I love it. By the way, number 10 is the number I wear as well.
So
it's the only number I wear. It's number
That's
10.
great.
This
You
is so
love it?
Michael Owen was one of my favorite players. Number 10. This is
Wow.
amazing.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. This is a small memory from our television, from Red Star, and today's
that's
interview.
very
I
kind.
hope
Thank you.
That's from Arena.
Oh, I love
you.
notebooks. It's my favorite thing.
I'm
Thank
so
you very
glad you
much.
like it. Do you watch basketball games? Sometimes.
Basketball, I don't, but you know who was texting me the other day to make sure, trying to set me up with anything I needed, I'm going to mess up his last name and he's going to hate me, Marco Javic. Yes, Marco was texting me being like, if you need anything in Belgrade, let me know. I've known Marco for a while, but I didn't realize he was from
Belgrade.
yeah.
Yes, from Serbia
Yeah,
actually.
so
yes.
he was a big player, I guess, at
Yes.
some point. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
I heard that you love tennis. It's like
Yeah.
you watch tennis or you play it from time to time.
Both.
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which tennis player you love? You heard from Novak Djokovic, I guess.
I was just about to say, I love
We
Djokovic.
have.
You know,
Yeah.
I love him because of his passion, and you know, he's. I think I like any sports player, actor, business person, whatever they do in life. When you see their passion,
yeah,
for
it's
it,
important.
you can't help but love them. You know, it's because it's real. It's what they're doing it because they love it. They live and breathe it. And I think Novak is. That's him, you know, you see it. And so you kind of root for people because they're rooting for themselves too, you know.
Novak is the greatest player in the world, and it's ours. You watched any of his games, matches?
Yes, I watched. Yeah, that I watch. I like tennis.
And you said that you love ballet, and I heard that you were practicing ballet for 12 years. Is that true? And you?
Yeah, but I think you probably practiced it for longer than me.
Probably because it took me longer to get good at it.
No. And when did you stop? What age?
16.
Yeah, you see, I stopped. I was 13.
Yeah.
And you're watching it now? Is there any
Yeah, I
other
mean ballet
sports?
anytime I'll watch. You know, I
And
love it.
gymnastic, you said?
Yeah, gymnastics is nice too, because I did a little bit of gymnastics when I was a kid. I tried a bit of everything, but
Is there any other sport that we need to mention and that you like or
yeah, for
watching?
me, it's ballet,
Badminton?
gymnastics, and ice skating. It's just anything graceful and
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I'm more into that. But you mentioned what? Did you just say?
Badminton?
I love badminton.
I know
You
because
do?
I saw that
But
somewhere.
why everybody
I was
laughs?
preparing,
By the way,
When
no,
I say
used to like
badminton, everybody
badminton. I
goes,
used to
"Oh,
like
that's very
badminton.
funny." I
Badminton
am
was
good
big.
at badminton. We found,
I
I
like
don't play
badminton.
anything, but
I like
badminton I'll play.
badminton.
Let's go.
I love it because in England, like
Let's
you have
go.
to be, like we didn't get to play tennis a lot where I grew up because the courts were never dry, like everything's wet. So we'd always play badminton because it was inside.
Yeah,
So.
voila.
Andy Murray?
That one anytime.
What about him, Andy Murray?
Andy Murray,
What
yeah,
about
he's
him?
great. He's good. He's great. Andy Murray's great.
I remember
Yeah.
him now. I have tons of questions for you, but we don't have much time because I know you have a lot of obligations in front of you, and I need to ask you about your biggest passion, and that's acting. So I'll start with a lady again. You're from the young age you were spotted based on your beauty and your charisma, and from teenage age you become photo model. And back then, you were part of the glory of Paris, and after that, of whole world.
That was a nice period. Those were the 90s, and I now think about those years with nostalgia. They were good years. I arrived in Paris. I was excited. I was, hungry for, to discover life. I was 16. I was a teenager, ready to learn, and I learned French. I learned, how to communicate with people. I was from a small town, so I was not very communicative
how was it for
back
you
then.
playing girl in Paris?
How is it? It's like the dream come true. My mother, the modeling agency bought me a ticket and paid for the visa because we could have never afforded. So I remember this is the phrase my mom said. She said, forget modeling. She said it might not work, but she said at least you would have had a paid trip to Paris, which I could never give you. She said I could never give you that present in life. She said go to museums, go to sightseeing, use the most of it, because if you come back, you'll never be able to go back there. And guess what? I never came back. It was an opportunity. My mom said, you're going to the most beautiful city in the world. And I did. I was museum. I came with my little book, sightseeing. I had my plan, Eiffel Tower. The Musée d'Orsay, Louvre. You name it. Arc de Triomphe, all of that. I was such a tourist first, and then I worked.
Did you know at that time that you were going to be an actress?
At that time, no. Because first I needed to learn French. And of course, first you need to even understand, meet people, and for me it was too far away, this whole thing. Once I spoke French, I did start thinking about it. Although I learned French quite fast, and I was on the photo shoots. A lot of people started telling me that I should be an actress and not a model. So it was something that recurrent that I would hear. And I thought, look, maybe they have a point, because I wanted to express myself, but on photos, you don't always have the opportunity. They rather want you to stay quite still. And I was expressing too many emotions. Very often the note was, no, don't do that. No, stay still. No, calm down. No, stop making, no, I was getting those notes. And I thought, wait a second, this is too static for me. I'm too much of an expressive person. And so I started, just for fun, I started doing classes. So that wasn't to even work. I just wanted, for me, I needed to go and let it out somewhere. So I was doing acting classes. And then slowly, and they said, look, why don't you do it professionally? Why don't you try? So I tried, and that's it.
Do you remember your first role?
Yeah. So it depends
first big success.
if we're talking. So my first, I did a few appearances but they were, they were not really significant. But the first role was a French indie film called The Ring Finger, and it was based on a Japanese novel, and I played the lead. So, yeah, it was still one of my favorite movies up to now. It's a nice, very artistic movie.
We mentioned Bond, but more with a connection with sport. However, when you look back on that role, how do you see that achievement and everything that that role brought for you?
Well, it brought the notoriety, I guess. It's because I was acting before that, but before that I did mostly French films and films in France. And it's true with Bond, it became international. And it's after Bond that American agents came to look for me and asked to represent me. I didn't have to go and ask them to represent it. They came. So things became easier, Suddenly you just, you want it and it's nice, So it's true, it offers a big overture into the cinema world.
Now you have many roles behind you, beside your unconditional beauty and talent. When you sum up everything, how do you see your career so far?
Eclectic. Eclectic and unusual, because I don't think, I always didn't want to be stuck in one, in one genre or do the same thing, that I consciously picked very different projects, and if certain projects weren't coming to me, I would just kind of like drive it that way. Like I would, tell my agents, look, I want to do a comedy, or I want to do. So I wanted to do a bit of everything, I didn't, because in the beginning, of course, after Bond, so I started with art house film in France, but only French people saw that. And the whole world saw me as an action hero, because the whole world saw, some people think my first movie is James Bond, which is not. So suddenly I was like this action hero, and I didn't want to do just that. I mean, it's fun, it's great, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to do drama, I wanted to do thrillers, I wanted to do comedies, I wanted to do horror, I wanted to try everything. And you know what, today I can say I did try all of them.
And you're satisfied with everything, right?
Yeah, and I want to keep going, and and I worked with such different directors, like such very, very action-oriented directors, and like a totally art house people like Terrence Malick. Like there's a big, it's very eclectic, and it was conscious. That's what I wanted.
I'm gonna talk with Oliver, but first I have a question for both of you. Can you describe us living or working in Hollywood?
I don't live in Hollywood.
She doesn't live there.
I know, but
Yeah, yeah.
live in Europe.
working.
Working, I mean, I think it, like any business, like anything in life, it has its ups, it has its downs. You ride the roller coaster and you find your people, and you gravitate towards those same people again. Like, once again, you find your crew that you like, you work with your crew. We find our people we like, we work with our people. I think it has tough days, it has great days. It's an emotional roller coaster,
You have such an inspiring story, but first of all, moving from England to America, it's pretty crazy, right? That story.
It wasn't,
yes.
it was a long time ago now. Honestly, it was, over 20 years ago, and I remember landing in LA, there wasn't many English people there, which was a good thing, because I would be noticed. I'd go into Starbucks and they'd be like, oh my God. Now it's full of English people. It's not special anymore. But at the time, it was a big jump. I remember, I was 20 years old. I said bye to my parents at the airport in Heathrow, I think that was the first time I saw my dad cry, was saying bye to my parents. But, like Olga's story, for me, it was an opportunity. It was the same thing. It was like, I'm going to America. When will that happen? And you take those risks and those moments in life where you take that action, and you never know where it's going to lead, But it's taking the action that creates that effect to go on to something different, So for me, at the time, I was scared, I was full of, it was excitement and fear. There was two emotions at the same time.
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at me now, but it's still life, There's still good days, there's still bad days, there's still, it can always look different on the outside, but we still I think that's the best way to describe Hollywood. Is it looks great from the outside, but it's the same on the inside as everything else. You know?
How did you find your passion for acting?
I'm the youngest of four boys, so I think my mum wanted a girl, and I immediately was put into ballet school and theatre school at 4 years old. So I've done it since I was a kid, and it's helped me so much. Like, I think acting for me, I've realized how much in life it's helped me. Like, even just the acting part. I think we're all actors. You know, we all put on different faces. You have to show up in a business meeting, or you have to show up in this, and something. You put on a persona, you know. I think for me, acting has been part of my life. I try and now be who I am and comfortable in myself and be the authentic person that I am. But when I look back, you know, when I was at school, I was trying to act tough, you know. I was trying to act popular. I was trying to, you're always kind of acting. Yeah, to some extent, you know, life is acting, you know.
What's your biggest acting achievement?
I don't know. I haven't got there yet. You know,
Okay.
I'm still on my way.
Okay, but beside acting, I want to know everything about your business. You're not only actor.
Yeah, I'm not only an actor. I think for me, like, I guess everyone, you have your own journey. And I think, you know, I've had many jobs. I've worked in a bar. I've had many jobs, and business started to just come into my life. And I had some amazing people around me that I started to learn from. And so I started to, I guess, use my creative mind the same as I would in acting or in Hollywood in a business way. So for me, it's the same thing. Like, finding a product is the same as finding a script. And then you have to tell the story of the product, the same as you tell the story of the script, and who you're going to tell the story with, and how you're going to tell the story, and how you're going to create something different and new and exciting. It's all, for me, it's a lot of similarities, and I just put that into the business world. And I try and surround myself with people that know what I don't. And I think for me, my biggest success, I know in business, is because I know what I know and I know what I don't know. And it's like, I always use a football analogy to bring it back to football. I'm a striker. I love being a striker. I don't want to play in goal. I don't want to be a defender. And I don't want to be a midfielder. Sometimes I have to play in midfield because it overlaps. But otherwise, I pick my team, and they play their position, and I
you're
play
a
my
leader,
position.
actually.
Yeah, well, it's the same in business. You know, I know what I'm good at, and then you pick your amazing people in their positions, and you build a team. Everything's a team, same as on set.
Yeah.
You pick your team. You know.
You picked your team even on this film, right?
Yeah. So it's about picking the team. You know, you pick the people. And you find what gels and what works, and sometimes you have to make tactical decisions in real time, and sometimes you have a halftime and you have a talk, and you say, hey, is everyone okay? Can we do anything different? I don't know, there's so many overlaps. When you break things down, we're all doing the same thing, just in a different way.
But you need to find the time. How do you find the time for
he's
all
a
of that?
machine.
It's,
I can see that, and that's why I asked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether that's from my dad. My dad was always just working all the time and so hard. I think I have a bit of that, like, mentality that just carries on going. But yeah, I try and find more structure. I think that's where, for me, the fitness and the sports save me. But otherwise, yeah, I keep very busy.
And for the end, I'm sorry because sadly we're coming to an end. And I know that one guy is going to kill me, but I need to mention Miloš Đukalić because he connected the three of us. You're working with him, you're here.
Yeah, Red Productions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, as we said, the team has been incredible. It's been an amazing experience as a producer and as an actor to be able to have faith in the people around you and to not worry. Because, you know, that's hard to do, is if you don't have confidence in the people around you, you're worrying about everything. I don't have to worry about so much because of them. You know, I let them do their job, and the rest is great.
And we have more presents for you too.
More presents? It's Christmas.
Yeah, this is from Miloš. Here you are.
He's sending us to rehab?
Probably.
Taped up.
Oh la la.
It's a dress.
Oh my God. We're going on stage again. What's going on? Ooh, is that
like
for him or for me?
This is for me, I'm guessing. This is for me? This one's
the
for
opposite.
Obviously.
me. I love it.
Great.
Rehab. You'll find me
So
here.
wait, is this a Serbian brand?
Yes.
Wow. Well, thank
Lovely.
you very much.
Thank you.
I was just asking. I said, guys,
You need a Serbian designer.
Yeah, I said, who are the biggest Serbian designers and like brands? And on set, nobody was able to answer me. I said, come on,
should've
guys.
called me.
Exactly. Now I know. We're
Now
going to
you
have a
know.
conversation after this.
Sadly, we're coming to the end of this interview,
Thank
and
you
I
very
hope
much.
we're going to see each other sometime. If
We'll be
not,
back. We'll be
Well,
back.
if they're
Be
present
back.
each time like this, we're
Yeah.
going to be doing it every
We'll
other
be back
month.
in an hour. Yeah. Give you a chance to go shopping, and then we'll come back.
One thing I'm sure we're going to watch you on a TV and enjoy as always. For the end, I have only 2 more questions. How do you see yourself in like 5 years? And do you have a sport or life motto? What?
I have a motto I guess I use is life makes sense in reverse.
Nice.
So for me in 5 years I have no idea because I'm just going to try and make sense of what's ahead. I don't know. So just
Better
surrender and trust that in 5 years who knows.
Yeah, well, look, we cannot plan, but I just always hope that in 5 years I'll be wiser and learn more things. I've always been hungry for knowledge. I always want to know more, and there's so many new subjects that I want to discover. I'm actually even thinking of maybe studying and enroll in university. And I was just talking to a friend. I thought, oh, but then it's 4 years, and it feels like such a long time. And she told me, Olga, you'll wake up and 4 years will be gone. Don't think like that. So maybe I should actually just not think, how old I will be by the time I'll finish the university, because it's discouraging sometimes. You think, oh, but I'll be this old.
Yeah, thinking about
But
anything.
actually, you know what? Tomorrow I'll wake up and I will be that old, and I would have that knowledge. So I might. This is what I want to do in 5
Thank
in 5
you
years. We'll
so
speak
much.
about it.
Thank you both
Thank
for
you.
being
Of course,
my guest.
Thank you very
Pleasure.
I vama ostaje
Another
samo da
more
kažem-
presents.
Ja,
The camera. They're giving us a camera.
No, that's it. A vama ostaje samo da kažem da budete uz moju arenu i narednog petka. Kako naši današnji gosti nisu iz Srbije, ja ću danas odigrati humanitarni tiket Soccer Beta, prijatelja naše emisije. Kao što ste već upoznati, oni daruju humanitarni tiket u iznosu od 10.000 dinara, a ukoliko budem precizna, ovaj iznos će se uvećati. Ja bih pomogla deci u Zvečanskoj i nadam se da ću biti uspešna.